This video walks you through the process of installing VirtualBox and then inside of VirtualBox installing pfSense. Actually, we have VirtualBox already installed, so we'll be looking at the installing of pfSense inside of VirtualBox. First of all, we need to go get pfSense. So I go to search for pfSense download. It takes me to the NetGate website, and it wants me to log in. It's not a big pain to have an account, but I'll skip that part here. The image type that we would like to download from there was the ISO for installing as a virtual machine. Add it to my cart, and then I go to my cart, and I've already, I need to log in. And I go to my Bitwarden site, and I see my NetGate account. Copy that password and sign in with my email. And I download that. And yeah, I'll save my NetGate password. Now you can see here I've paid for it paid for zero for it several times. It remembers each order. I don't need to see the PDF. I just need to go download it. They don't send me. They give me the PDF. They don't send me to the link. I have to go log into my email to go get it. And I log in to my email to go get the link. And I don't see it. So I should now see an email from NetGate. It's not showing up. There's the receipt. There's the installer. Notice it doesn't give me a pfSense installer. It gives me a NetGate installer. So that's confusing. Let's see if I can put the name pfSense in it once I click the download. I like to have my browser have me ask where it's going to save it each time, and I am going to do left arrow and put pfSense in front of there. And that's the installer. Notice it is a GZ file, and kind of annoying to see. Let's see if it'll unzip for me. I found out that Windows would not decompress it. I'm just going to go find 7-zip. 7-zip. I'm going to get 7-zip because the Windows unzipper doesn't know what to do with that. Oh, it looks like I did install 7-zip already. No, I don't want WinZip. So I think that I do have 7-zip installed on this machine. Now that it's installed, or that it's downloaded, down into my download folder. Oh, where did it go? I have to go find where I put it. Oh, it's asking me where to. No, I don't. I'm going to cancel that. Let's see where it put that. pfSense is over there in my downloads folder. All right. Let's see if Windows will decompress that, just for fun, because it seems to know it's an archive. Let's right-click, extract all, and let's see if it will know how to extract that in my downloads folder. Let's see what happens. Just as got me worried before. I thought, oh man, I had a corrupted download. No, it's because Windows compressor doesn't know how to decompress a GZ file. You'd think it would know not to try. So I want to do a open with I want to open with 7-zip. There we go. 7-zip extract files. Puts in download. That's the file name it's going to give me. And 7-zip knows how to unzip it. And then down inside of there, it creates a folder, even though the folder has a .iso. Down inside of there, that's the file I want to use to install in VirtualBox. So now we have the ISO for installation. Now let's go to VirtualBox, which has already been installed on this PC. Run VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox. And I'm going to start a new VM. These guys are there already for me. Let's go ahead and create a new VM. Going to give it a name. For my class CS230, I'll call it my firewall. I'm going to make sure I create this machine on a spare drive. I'm going to click here and browse to other and go to my spare drive. And here I have my VirtualBox folders. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it CS230 pfSense. Maybe I'll just call it CS230 firewall. It's good to name your folders the same as your machine, or you can really lose track of things. So that's the folder. I'm going to select that folder as the destination for this VM. Now the ISO that I just downloaded and extracted. Browse over to the downloads folder. Downloads folder. On the spare drive. There's the pfSense. There's the ISO. Now, what else do I want to do? We have learned that it had a real hard time booting. Let's go back. I forgot to do one thing. Name and operating system. The type is BSD. That's just something I learned about pfSense. It does run BSD. It's running under FreeBSD. Now let's go to hardware. And we've discovered that it does not play nice if you don't give it enough memory. It doesn't boot up. So let's give it plenty of memory right now. We can always back off on our memory. Pretty sure that 8 gig is enough. 4 CPUs, we'll just leave that there for fun. And the hard drive, 16 gig. Let's bump that up to about 32 gig. We're not loading it heavily, but we don't want to run out of space. I can always check the space, and I can adjust my size as I go. Usually it's easier to increase the size than to decrease the size, but either direction. Finish there. Now, before I start it, you're going to want to start it, but no, I need to make sure my network settings are correct, because this is going to be a firewall between one of my other VMs and the internet of the lab. So I'm going to go to settings, and under network, expert settings, this is going to be my WAN side, and I can go NAT, loading my host machine with a little bit of translation, but I'll go with the default there. That's my philosophy. Go with the default unless I have to change it. But I do need a second adapter. This is going to be the inside private network, the private virtual network, and I'm going to attach it to my host only adapter. Now that's a special adapter that I want to be able to connect to also from my host PC, which is nice feature about the host only adapter. So it's like my host PC is part of this little private network that I can create. I am leaving the cable connected and click OK. And we're ready to start that VM. Fire it up, and it will power up. I don't need to click any keys. You shouldn't need to have to click on anything. A menu should pop up eventually, giving you input to what it wants to do. Running under Windows 11, coming pretty quick. The install is surprisingly quick for what a powerful firewall this is. As he's booting up, does a lot of generating. I see he's running FreeBSD. I accept all. I'm going to do install, hit enter. setting up the network. 0, that's the first network device. That's going to be the WAN side. I'm going to click OK for the WAN interface. Go with the default settings. Going to go DHCP. Just hit enter. And now the LAN side. Now this is special. I have to do one special thing here. His default address is this. And it is static. So I can't run DHCP on this. I don't want to feed out DHCP. Well, actually, I'm going to be feeding out DHCP. But I also want my local PC to be able to connect to the LAN side of my firewall. Well, I need to know, what is that address? This is where I need to run command prompt, cmd. And on the command prompt, I want to run the command ipconfig. ipconfig. And as you do virtual machines, virtualization, you'll see there's a lot of LAN connections will show up. Some that have to do with the VMware, because we do have VMware installed as well. Lots of virtual connections. The one that I care about is this one right here. Ethernet adapter 6 in this case. Here I see this is one I know it's connected to my network. This one is my VMware, the 192.168.56.1. I want to set my LAN side of my firewall on that same address, or to be able to communicate to that. So that's the host only adapter. So I need an address on the same address, the same network as the same logical network as this one. So back at VMware, I want to give him, arrow down, enter. I want to give him an address of 192.168.56. I can't use 1 because my host adapter is using it. I'm going to use 2. Some people like to use the last address of a network. I'll go ahead with the one right next to this host. I am going to serve DHCP, but notice even though I changed the IP address, it still keeps which is an invalid pool addresses. So that has to be 56 if I'm going to serve addresses on the same network. And this has to be also 56.150. And I'll go with the 100 to 150. So if I ever create a VM running DHCP connected to the host only adapter, this firewall will serve it through DHCP, will serve it an address in this range. I hit OK. And now they're active. I hit continue. I am good. At this time, it actually goes to the WAN side, connects, and tries to pulls down software. It recognizes it is not licensed, and so I'm going to install the CE version, Community Edition, and proceed. I don't do any raiding. One student had raid show up, and I'm not sure how he did that. And notice it's already the only disk there, so it selects that. Spacebar will select that or not. And yes, I'm going to do it. The install goes very quickly. And current stable release 272. Not a huge not a huge file, and so the install goes very quickly. Installing the base. Installing a few more things. What I love about pfSense is when it's installed, configured after the install, it immediately works as a firewall. Many other packages I've used, you install it, but before you connect as a firewall, you have to go in and browse through the interface, and finally it will work as a firewall. Where pfSense, you actually can go in and configure it still, but you don't need to. It's already there and running as a firewall. But of course, there are some things you may want to configure. So at this point, it's configuring the firewall. And now if I ever create any VMs, and let's see, I can go visit my VMware VirtualBox Manager. If I create any VMs and put their network on the host only, they can run DHCP and get to the internet.
Honestly, don't love. If I do tonight, it's